Welcome to the Forever Better Academy podcast, where you will be given the principles, tools, and techniques to reach the next stage on your journey of self-mastery. Who could you become? I'm your host, Wade Vincent. Hey guys, welcome back. Here we are, the episode 2 of the Forever Better Academy podcast. So, I am excited today. I wanted to talk to you guys about where do you start. So this is the initial question. You know, it's the first thing. When you've taken that leap of faith, that step, you understand you're ready. You want to make a change in your life. You've got ambition to grow. Where do you start? So what I thought is very helpful to share with you guys is the key thing is, right at that very moment is identifying that you're ready to start. So I imagine most of you are at that point, given the fact that you're listening to this podcast or you're watching on YouTube. You're at that moment. You're at that crossroads. Where do I go next? How do I begin? I know that I need to start. How do I start? So maybe some of you are already further down that path, and these tools and these suggestions and offerings of guidance that I'm sharing with you can be applied at any step along the way on the journey. They're timeless tools, things that are going to help no matter where you are in your journey, and perhaps serve as a nice reminder of those foundational tools and techniques that have served you to get to where you are in your journey currently. So really just knowing is probably the biggest step, because once you understand that you have to make that movement and you have to change, or you have to take those initial steps, that's half the battle. The biggest thing, I think, once you know, instinctually it becomes a commitment to taking that next action, to making those progress movements that are going to serve you on your desired journey to whatever your outcome may be. Now, I think probably the most helpful tool that I could give you from the beginning is momentum breeds momentum. So what helped me so much in the early days is, and you're excited, you want to move, you want to grow, that initial emotional high kicks in and you're excited, or maybe you're nervous. Either way, you're in a heightened emotional state, and especially when we're in that state, it's very difficult to think with clarity, because the adrenaline's rushing. There's maybe a surge of dopamine in your body because you're excited, or maybe the cortisol, the stress hormone that's freaking you out, because it can be overwhelming. So I think it's super helpful if you remember that momentum breeds momentum. So it doesn't matter where you start or how you start. All that matters is that you start. Now, I think it was Lao Tzu that said, the journey of 1,000 steps begins with the very first one. And that really is what it comes down to. It's easy to take it in bite-sized pieces. You don't. Another saying. Like how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You cannot possibly look at the end goal, because it becomes insurmountable. It's so overwhelming looking at where you are and where you want to be. You're standing at the base of Mount Everest looking at the summit. It can be overwhelming. So if you're taking that momentum one step at a time, progress is happening. Now, like you, I was very much like, but what if I take the wrong step? What if I go in the wrong direction? It doesn't matter, because none of it is the wrong direction. It's all part of your learning. It's part of your journey. You might feel that it's actually taking you 2 steps backwards from the start line of where you were, but it's not. It's taking you and nudging you along the right path. You're moving in a different direction. It's never the wrong direction. It's movement. Momentum breeds momentum. So taking those steps, just taking them, and once you start to take those steps, you really start to understand that, I'm capable here. I'm not frozen. I'm in motion, and it's like inertia. Once something's moving, it's harder to stop it. The friction from gravity and the forces of the universe are on your side. There's assistance there. If you're moving, things come together and they help you with that movement. It's an interesting thing. It's very hard to explain until you go through that and feel that the nudge, almost like there's a strong wind, in your sails, pushing you, helping you move. So when you're taking that momentum, when you're taking those steps and making movement, you're gonna start to experience new things and feel new feelings that you haven't necessarily felt before, because you're active now and things are going in a direction that is unfamiliar to you, or you may be familiar with. Maybe it's a path you've traveled before that you feel like you've fallen off the path and you need to come back onto the path and keep going. That momentum starts to open doors and show you new things, because you're traveling from one point to another, and along those paths there's new opportunities and new experiences, and those things will help you lead to the next point. So I think what I'm trying to get across is that once you start taking that momentum and you are making that movement, then new possibilities open up. You're seeing new things, you're feeling new things, you're in new areas. There's a whole wealth of different stuff out there, and even if it doesn't feel like any of it ties together, it all does. It's all part of the pieces, like it's key to experiment. So let's say you were like I was at the beginning of the journey, excited, but having no idea of where I'm actually going. Even if you don't know that the summit, as I said, if you're standing at the base of Everest and you're not even looking at the summit, you don't even know whether you're digging down under Everest, you're going to run around it, you're going to go up in the air, you're going to walk back to where you came from. If you don't even know where you're trying to go, I promise you, taking those steps in any direction opens up new pathways for you. That momentum will show you, hey, okay, I can see. The universe says, I see you're interested in progress. You want to take some initiative, and you take control and take ownership of what you're doing right now. So I'm going to show you, maybe here's a path you might like. And you might travel down that path for a little while and then realize, no, actually that path's not for me. But when you get to that point further along the initial path and you decide, I need to change, because you're in momentum, you're moving, another path opens up. Now that path might lead you off the initial path over to the left side and reconnect with another path that you could have taken from the initial point you're at. There's no set like lanes. Like if you imagine like a bowling alley and they've got the bumper rails when you're a kid, when you go to a bowling alley and you're excited and you get those disgusting shoes that don't ever fit you and that smell and they're like ugly as hell, and you put those shoes on and you pick up a bowling ball and you don't know what you're doing. You it's your first time, you're a kid, but you're excited. That energy from when you're a child is infectious. You don't think, oh, what if I bowl it wrong, or what if I hit the pins the wrong way, or what if it bounces off the rails. You don't care. You're a kid. You're excited. You're bowling. Who cares? You're happy. You're bowling. That's the thing. You're not getting caught up in the mechanics of the activity. You're just doing it. So it's the same kind of thing. Like you just, you're on that path, and if you veers off down the alleyway and hits a bumper rail and it steers you in another direction, it's still bowling. You're still on the path. That's that momentum. It's moving. So it's all about taking experiments and trying different things, because if you don't try things, how do you know what you like? How can you possibly know what's right for you, or what you're good at, or what you don't like, or what you want to avoid, or meet the people that will share that journey with you or take you to the next step along the way unless you start taking those steps and move and take action and put one foot down in front of the other. It's so vital to keep moving. You know, if we're not moving and we're standing still, we're not growing. If we're not growing, we're dying. So as long as you keep that motion, that momentum, keep that energy going, soon enough you will start to see, okay, I can do this thing. I'm in a position where I'm not sure, but I've learned this new skill set. Now I'm aware that when I'm somewhere that I'm not, I can take ownership and get myself to a different spot that isn't necessarily maybe where I want to go, but it gets me out of the spot I don't want to be in. So I think that's worthwhile, taking that experiment, try different stuff. If you don't have any idea at all, I promise you, just try a few things. Experiment with okay, maybe I want to be a singer. Try, take some singing classes. See if it's for you. See if you enjoy it. See if you catch that bug, that infectious feeling that you awaken that purpose inside. No one sits down and just, maybe they do, but for me it wasn't the case of just, there it is. That's my purpose. I know what it is. That comes once you've tried some things. I don't, let's say we talk about Michelangelo, the painter. I don't believe that Michelangelo would have sat down and said, I'm going to become an incredible painter without first picking up a brush, trying it, finding that he enjoyed it, and practiced it and got good at it, and it became his craft. So you've got to keep going with different things, different angles, always moving, always trying things. That's key. I really think that's a point I want to stress. I know I'm saying momentum a lot, but I want that to really resonate with you guys because I feel like it's valuable. It helps get you up and moving, which is one of the key foundational things when you're starting. Now, I think with the experimenting, a useful way to understand the concept that this helped me in the past is, you ever had, when you're a kid and maybe this is different for kids these days, but when I was little, before pre-internet days, when the world was flat, we sometimes we'd sit down with a puzzle, like a jigsaw puzzle. I'm sure many kids still play with this stuff, or at least are aware of what these things are. Now, when you take the box and you look at the picture and you pick that box up and you're like, this is something that interests me. I like this puzzle. I want to make this. So you shake out all the pieces, or even better yet, when you take a puzzle and you're not sure what the picture is. Maybe you've lost the box and you've just got the pieces, but you don't know what's there yet. So you start sorting out. You flip the pieces over and you get all the pictures face up, and then maybe you might start putting the corners or the edges around the puzzle to build that framework, to start seeing the picture, if you're with me, right? So the more experimenting, the more pieces that you gain. Those are those puzzle pieces. And once you put those puzzle pieces together, even if you don't know what your puzzle is that you're trying to solve or understand or find what it is, soon enough the picture becomes clear because you have all those pieces. And then you can see, okay, now I understand. This is where I am. This is what I'm good at. This is what I love. This is my passion. This is my purpose. It becomes so much more clear because you've been rewarded. The universe is seeing you're taking that action. It's giving you the puzzle pieces. The puzzle pieces don't fall in your lap. You have to go and look for them. You have to go searching. The world is a big place. There's a lot out there for you. So if you take those actions, go out there, look, experiment, try different things. Sure enough, I guarantee you, because it's what happened to me. And I've had many, many friends and mentors and people that tell me the same stories. They started. You've just got to start. And then the pieces come, and then you get a clearer picture, and then you understand, and then you take the next step on the next journey. And all of this really comes into, once you've got that going, then you're starting to frame that right mindset, which is I feel a key, another foundational piece of where you start. So first thing is that movement. You get that momentum, you keep going. From there, you start to develop the right mindset. And the mindset is the crucial point of taking you to the next step of your journey, because you have to have the tools, the frameworks, the techniques, as I speak of in the introduction to the podcast, that really give you the understanding of how to see things and how to become that person that you're trying to become. You know, you have to work on that and grow that mindset. I like to I always feel that it's a excellent reference, like operating systems. Let's say like on your phone, right? Like, you know, Android operating system, or your iOS on your iPhone, right? I I think it resonates with people. And it's very easy to understand those platforms and the frameworks, because they're very much a representation of really how humans think, our wiring, and the way we frame things and process them. The reason that computers are such an integral part of our lives is because they're really an extension of us, and who we are and how we operate. So I think it's vital to remember your mind is an operating system. You have that inside your head where, if you don't like the framework that you have currently because of the programs that it's producing, or the outcomes that aren't what you desire, you can reprogram yourself. You can change that mindset. It's the same, you know, if your computer's is buggy, or you know, corrupted, you reboot and reframe. You know, install that new operating software that allows the tool to deliver the desired outcome. So the mindset that comes from taking that momentum, experimenting, taking those steps, is you putting in those pieces more and more and more, building on that framework, that mindset that takes you through your journey and allows you to open up those new pathways. I almost feel like it's almost like they sort of align. You know, the pathways that appear are like, when you've got the framework right, the mindset is correct and improves, new neural pathways open up, new connections in your mind. And it's almost like, when that happens and those pathways open in your mind, opportunities and pathways open up in reality, in the real world all around you. So it's like, I like a saying too, you know, you know, from my sales background, is, you know, when you're maintaining data and you know, in say like a CRM with customers and the people that you know you're working with, is garbage in, garbage out. And it's the same with health and nutrition, right? Same with your eating. Garbage in, garbage out. You put bad, negative foods in your body, you put processed foods in your body, you get you know, a garbage result. Your body reflects that. It's the same with your mentality. Okay, you're putting garbage into your mind. If you're watching, you know, media nonstop, the world, you know, is horrible, Chicken Little, the sky is falling, you know, that becomes your framework. That's your mindset, because you're absorbing that framework. That's your mindset. So you can't have the garbage in. You need to put the good in. That's why it's super crucial to take in the knowledge, read more books, you know, look online, find. I mean, you're here, you're listening to this, so you're already on the path. You know, you're looking for more. You're trying to find those tools, and you're taking in that good. You're taking in the right framework, the right mindset, the right principles, tools, and techniques that will give you that desired outcome. So you take in all the good, all the right things that you need to. Now, if you're in momentum, you're moving, now you're experimenting, you're trying different things. Now the next key thing is the proximity. So you start to surround yourself with the people that are doing what you want to do, or have reached the point you're looking to reach, or at least want to be around them to see if this is what would benefit you, this kind of lifestyle or framework of thinking, or whatever you would like to call it. So proximity, right? If you're moving, you start to be around more people. You see different people. You're experiencing what other people are like. Now, success leaves success. Okay? Success clues. So if you are looking at the people that you feel are where you want to be, study them, watch them, see how they're moving, see their momentum, see what they're experimenting with. Copy that. Success leaves success clues. So if you start to get in that proximity, and the beautiful thing being that, and this is key for me too. This is just, and I'm going off a tangent here, but that's what changed, because I had none of that around me. I had no people. There were no millionaires in my family. There's no there was no successful entrepreneurs or business owners or even academics. I was in my little bubble, surrounded by the people that were within my proximity. That's who I had exposure to. That's what I had to learn from. I can remember stories, like, I think, as I said, pre-internet, uh, all that I had was whatever my mum would tell me or my grandparents would tell me. That was my reality. So if I asked my mum, why was the sky blue, and she said because red was unavailable, that was my truth. That was what it was. I didn't know any better. But we are blessed now. We don't have to be in our little bubbles. That proximity, as I talk about, can be virtual proximity. So I really want to stress that, because the key here, if you're in that momentum, you're moving, you're experimenting, you're looking for new channels. You're here, you're listening to me. I imagine you're listening to other podcasts. You're learning from lots of different people. You're doing the right thing. You're exposing yourself. You're putting yourself in proximity to the people that have got the results and the outcomes that you want. And now you can learn from them. You can absorb. So you're taking, instead of garbage in, garbage out, you're taking the goodness in. You're taking the right tools, the right frameworks, the right way to think, the right process, behaviors, actions. You're taking those in, internalizing them, and then from there, those things become your output. And when you put that out, then other people can come to you, and then they get those same successes, those same wins, those same tools, those same offerings that someone shared to you, which is why we're here, and this is why I do what I do with the podcast and Forever Better Academy. So I think it's crucial in your next step. So you get yourself that proximity around the people you want to be around. We're so blessed to have connection to anyone in the world, absolutely anyone. If someone's online that you admire and look up to, simple, follow them. Comment on their things. Tell them you appreciate what they're doing. Connect with them. Before too long, you'll realize everyone is a human. No one else that is in a position that you feel is levels above where you want to be is any less real or more different than you actually think. They're very, very similar. Everyone here, we're all so much more alike than we are different. And you start to realize that everyone's just a person, and if they can do these things, then we can do these things. So I think proximity is crucial to get yourself around those right kind of people, get yourself in that mind frame. Now, and I from there I would lead on to probably one more key point when you're trying to start. Where do you begin? That was crucial, I believe, is a foundational piece, is your health. So I think it's vital. If we talk about momentum, what's the most accurate form of momentum is physical movement. So actual movement of your body. Now, when I started my health journey and just said enough is enough, and as I said in the first episode, I was 99 kilos, and I just said I'm not breaking that 100 kilo mark. I will not go there. I committed to it, and once I took care of the health, the blood flow around my body, the oxygenation, your mind becomes clearer. If you take, again, garbage in, garbage out, if you get your health right, take all those bad foods, processed foods, refined sugars, remove all that from your diet, because you're made up of all those things you're consuming, be it information, be it actual food and nourishment, be it ideas. Everything that you're absorbing makes you who you are. So the key, I want to rehash this, okay? So we're going to go through, the first thing is the fact that you know you're ready to start means you've already started, right? The next step is momentum. Okay, so momentum breeds momentum. You have to keep moving. It's important. Even if you don't know where you're going or where you want to go, start moving. The third step there is experiment. So when you're on that path, you're moving, you're trying different things because you have to discover what you like to do. If you don't know and take experiments, how could you ever know? You might miss out on that thing that was your calling, the one thing that you needed that would give you a sense of purpose and nourish your soul that you can be great at and share with the world. There, from that point, then we move into mindset. Okay, so mindset, everything that starts to come in that you're absorbing on your journey, that momentum that you're experimenting with, starts to frame the right mindset for your success and growth. And how do we fuel that piece? Proximity. So we take that again around the people that we admire and look up to, or who have achieved the things that we want to achieve, and we mimic. We copy those people. We take in the good that they're putting out because they've put good in, they get good out. We take their good, put it in, and then we put the good out for others. All right. And then the final piece I believe that is critical is your health, which ties into that momentum piece. So move your body. Because without health, nothing else matters. We can't operate, we can't survive, we can't do what we need to do, we can't take those steps. We can't go on our journey because our bodies aren't healthy enough. This is our vehicle. We need it to take us to those points. And it's so vital. So I really hope that you guys have gained something from this today, because these are key things that helped me along my journey, especially from the beginning. And I promise you, if you take this advice and these concepts that I'm sharing with you today, try them. Just try movement for 30 days. You watch the difference you'll feel. You watch your mind open up and expand and change, and you'll see, you'll literally feel it. You'll feel that inside you that something's shifting. And soon enough, you'll start to see the results, and you watch. Paths will slowly open up right in front of you. Sometimes they open up very quickly. You'd be amazed at how quickly things can move. So I want to thank you guys for being here with me today. And I'm excited. So I would like to say, if you guys value what I've got here for you guys, what I'm sharing, please let me know. Share the podcast. If there's one thing that made a difference or resonated with you, or you feel there's something that could impact others, please share it, because what I'm about is helping others with the same tools and principles that people were kind enough to share to me. So if you feel that there's something there, please tell a friend, get the word out. Help me spread the goodness. And if you have something that you'd like me to discuss that's on your mind, or you're curious about, or you have questions about what do I do from this point, please send me an email. Okay, it's Wade at foreverbetteracademy.com. I'm happy to discuss and share the things that I've been blessed with, and hopefully we can grow together. So remember, who could you become? And that's what it's all about. The next step, forever better. We're on a journey together, and we're rising together, and we're becoming the next version of ourselves on our journey of self-mastery. All right, I'm very grateful for you all, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. All right, thanks guys. Bye.